today we're going to talk about twin lens reflex cameras. Hey, what's up you guys? Nick here. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Nick. I'm a professional photographer, and for those of you who are checking out another video, as you can probably tell, our scenery is a lot different. We have a new recording space. I think this space is a lot better than the old one. So, what are we talking about today? I think the title kind of goes into it, but today we're going to talk about twin lens reflex cameras. And I love twin lens reflex cameras, and we're going to kind of go over a little bit of the history of them, the advantages of them and the disadvantages of them over SLR cameras, and we'll kind of talk about what an SLR and a rangefinder camera is, so that you guys know exactly what we're talking about. So let's dive in and talk about twin lens reflexes. Now, the original twin lens reflexes first came about in the 1870s, though the first commercially available off-the-shelf one, I believe, was the 1880s or 1890s. So now that we kind of talked about a little bit of how long they've been around, let's actually pull a twin lens reflex out and kind of go over it. Now, I have one up here, and I've mentioned this one. Hey, what's up you guys? We're just kind of throwing this bit in somewhere. I'll find a spot for it. I'm in the middle of editing this video that you're watching, so kind of inception-y, and I realized that I forgot something very important. I forgot to show you the difference in size between 35mm and 120 format film, which seems like it would be really important since we're talking about twin lens reflex medium format cameras. So I actually pulled out a strip of 35mm film. As you can see, this is your normal old disposable camera, old school SLR or rangefinder camera film. This is a strip of 120 format. 6x6 square is what it was shot at. I wanted to share some photos with you guys that I've taken with that camera, and I'm actually probably gonna have to cut that bit out of the video because I don't have any saved on my computer at this time. I thought I did, but I don't, and then my scanner actually got stolen off my porch. I haven't been able to scan any film into the computer, and the ones I did have on the computer are gone. I still have the negatives for those, I just don't have the digital files saved right now. So I'm going to try to get another scanner so that we can scan these and go through them. But I definitely want to show you guys the size difference between 120 format and 35mm. That is a huge difference in size. Basically what it comes down to is because it's larger, it collects more information. It's just like a full frame sensor versus a crop frame sensor. The larger the area that can capture an image, the more information it collects. So even 4x5 is even larger than that, and you've seen the 4x5 plates. So each one of those is even bigger than these medium format ones here. And hopefully, I wonder if you can see them. These are some automotive photography at a car show. So hopefully you can see some of that stuff. I apologize again that I don't have any photos saved on my computer and that I don't have a scanner, but I will in the future get a scanner and we'll go through those photos there. But I just kind of wanted to block this into this video because I didn't actually show the difference in film size, and I apologize for that. So back to the rest of the video. I've actually mentioned this one in quite a few videos, and this is my Yashica Model A twin lens reflex camera. This one is from the 1950s, I believe, and you guys actually probably will recognize it now that you see it, or something similar. The one you probably recognize the most is the Reflex, like the big brand of twin lens reflex cameras. It's the ones that are really well known, that or the Mirror Mouse. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I could be wrong. Now this is a Japanese one, where the Reflex and the Mirror Mouse are European. This is Japanese. It is on the cheaper side. You can pick these up between $50 and $150 on eBay all day long. The Model A's, the Model B's, the Model C's, and the Model D's. They're all 120 format film. The Kodak twin lens reflexes are usually 620. You can't buy, that I know of, you can't purchase 620 film any longer. But you can still get 120. Kodak still makes 120. Ilford makes 120, as well as Fuji and a few others. So 120 is actually pretty easy to get a hold of. It's a little pricier than 35mm, but to get into medium format cheaply, the Yashica is a really, really good way to get into that. Now you're probably wondering, why does it have two lenses or twin lens? And the reason for that is when we lift this up, we actually look down here for the viewfinder. So this lens right here is your viewfinder lens, and that actually shows you what you're gonna take a photo of. This is your shot lens, or what opens up with the shutter to expose your film. So you compose your image and you focus it up here, and actually I'll bring the camera over here and show you what I mean here in a moment, but you focus and compose your image right through here. And then when you actually hit the shutter, it opens up the shutter behind this lens and takes the photo. Some of the advantages of that is there's less moving parts than, let's say, an SLR camera. So an SLR camera, I'm gonna put this down really quick. So with an SLR camera, you use the viewfinder here. And the viewfinder, there's a mirror and a prism in here. So the mirror flips down, covering your film, and then the shutter. And then there's a prism here, so it comes up and it shows correct through your viewfinder. And as you can see, that mirror pops up and down. So now that mechanism is loud, and you get a little bit of what's called shutter delay, where the time it takes for that to fold up and the mirror to get out of the way, the shutter to open up and expose your film and close, there's a little bit of shutter delay. Now, that doesn't seem like it would be that much, but when you're taking an image of a really fast action shot, that could make all the difference on whether or not you get the image that you compose. Whereas with your twin lens reflex, you compose your image up above, and you can still take the photo really quick while the image is still composed, because there's no mirror going in and out of the way or anything along those lines. Another advantage of the twin lens reflex is it's a little more inconspicuous when you're doing street photography. You hold it down here, you hold it down below chest level, you compose your images through here, and you can fire like that, or with a cable. It's not as conspicuous as pulling out your SLR, your DSLR camera, and taking photos up here and going about it that way. And we kind of talked about that with street photography video. I'll link up here. Not everyone likes their photo to be taken, so with something like this, it's a little more conspicuous. So another advantage of the twin lens reflex is because it uses a leaf shutter, you can synchronize to a strobe at a faster setting than you can with a curtain shutter in an SLR camera. And also with SLR cameras, when that mirror goes up and down, it causes a little bit of vibration. So if you're shooting at a slower shutter speed, it can actually cause you to have a little bit of shake internally on the camera, causing a little bit of blur to your images. So another advantage of the twin lens reflex not having that mirror is you have a live feed. And I think that's one of the reasons mirrorless cameras are so popular, is they have that constant live feed on the LCD screen on the back of the camera, because the sensor is always being exposed by the photo and it's converting that into an image on the back. This is just a little more old school. The image is constantly being displayed on top while you're taking your images, while you're taking your photos. A lot like a modern mirrorless, because with an SLR, when that mirror pops up, you lose the image out of your viewfinder. It goes completely black because it is exposing the sensor or the film, whether or not you're shooting 35mm or digital. Some of the disadvantages of this camera is action photography is difficult. On some of them, if you're lucky, like with this one, you'll have what's called a sports finder. It's this little square here that goes through here, and you look through it to take your images. You can't really compose them, you can't make sure everything's in focus because you're not seeing through the lens as you would be normally. And the reason for that is because when you're using the ground glass up here, everything is backwards in a weird way. So if you go right, you're actually moving left, and if you go left, you're actually moving right, and it makes composing action shots difficult if you're not used to it, or if there's a lot of action going quickly. And the other side of that is you have to hold it down in order to shoot, usually at stomach, waist, or lower chest level, in order to compose your shot correctly. And it makes it more difficult to shoot at eye level because you're shooting down here. So when I shoot in the studio with it, and if the model's standing up and I'm having to shoot from down lower, I'll actually get on an apple box or a step stool or something along those lines. That way their eyes are even with the lens, because you can't really bring it up and shoot it there. a lot of those fantasy shoots, I like to bring my twin lens reflex or my medium format cameras with me to kind of capture shots that I won't be editing on Photoshop or anything like that, and it kind of captures the mood. I'll do some behind the scenes stuff with it. It's just a lot of fun to capture those moments with film while we're shooting with digital. I do recommend as a starter medium format camera, the Yashica. The Yashicas have really good lenses. They take really sharp photos. I really like my Yashica Model A. The Hasselbags and the, I can't pronounce it. I'll put it down here. It's M somethings, and the Reflexes. Those are all $500 to $1,200, if not more, cameras. They're extremely expensive, but they take wonderful photos. And the, I still can't pronounce it, the M ones, you can actually put longer lenses on those, telescopic lenses, stuff like that, whereas with the Yashicas, it's kind of a fixed lens, but it's a lot of fun to learn medium format and jump into medium format in a cost-effective way. So I want to show you guys actually what it looks like when you're actually using this style of viewfinder over the SLR. Alright, you guys, we're out here. We cut to this part because I tried to show you what the TLR or the twin lens reflex look like on how to use it on the side, but we didn't have enough light to really see the screen thingy, and I know I'm not in uniform, but I wanted to show you guys kind of how this thing works. So we have our camera, and that pops up. And down here, let's see if we can get this to work correctly. But as you can kind of see, that's our viewfinder. I'm actually going to focus it real quick. So that's the view we're looking at. This is the new backyard. When you look down here, when I move left, the camera moves right, the view does, and that's what we were talking about. Now, another cool thing about this particular twin lens reflex, click this in, and it's usually on the higher end models. It has a magnifying glass, so you can make sure everything in your image is in focus. You just kind of move around, make sure it's all in focus before taking your shot. But I wanted to show you guys the difference in how you shoot it down here by looking straight down. I wanted to show you that by looking straight down, you shoot from the hip, or in my case, the belly. In order to get those shots, it's a lot less conspicuous than bringing a DSLR up all the way, and you can shoot from the hip. It's actually really cool and a different way of doing photography. So let's cut back inside, you guys. So medium format is a lot of fun to get into, and you can get medium format SLR and rangefinder cameras. I prefer the twin lens reflex just because I've always wanted one ever since I saw them, just because they have a very specific and unique look to them and a very unique way that they work. They're always so much fun to shoot with, and anytime I pull one of these out, whether it's with a client or a model, or I'm even doing when I used to do street photography pretty regularly, which we're gonna get back into with this camera, you always gotta look. People always knew what it was. They knew it was a camera, and it was something that not a lot of people had seen, because even before digital took over, these had fallen out of favor for various reasons. Primarily that medium format altogether had started to fall out of favor because it was more expensive, and as 35mm films got better, there really wasn't a need for anything larger than that. It kind of went the same way that large format went. Large format just kind of fell by the wayside as medium format, and your regular 35mm got cheaper and cheaper, and the twin lens reflexes just kind of fell out of favor. You can still get a Mint, I think it is, makes a Fuji Instamax twin lens reflex. I've considered buying one. They're kind of pricey, but maybe I'll get one and we'll do a video on it. But we have a lot of videos coming up with this camera in particular. We are going to do a medium format shoot. I'm going to show you how to load this with film, set it up to shoot, and we're going to take some photos with it and have a lot of fun with that. We're going to go do street photography work with it, we're going to do studio work with it, and then we're going to do a black and white film developing tutorial with it. So that's what I know about twin lens reflexes. I did a little bit of research on them to get a little bit more of the history and those names that I can't pronounce. So I want to thank you guys again so much for watching this video with me and joining me in my new studio space. I hope you found it informative and fun. This video is late because we are moving, so it's Sunday morning that it's getting uploaded. Please like, comment, and share if you enjoy the video. Make sure that you guys subscribe and hit the bell notification, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good night. Bye.